Hi all, and welcome to my channel, Fred Makes Things. Today is part 2 of my January Sewers Club series. If you haven't seen it, part 1 was the unboxing of this box. Today, part 2 is the discussion of the project in the box. And then this month, there's going to be a part 3 to Sewers Club, and that is going to be discussing last year's project and me revisiting it this year. So in this video, we are going to talk about the project for this year and this month, January 2022. This video is going to be in 4 parts. Part 1 is going to be talking about what came in the box. Part 2 is talking about assembling the project. Part 3 is pros, cons, and user error. And then part 4 is going to be my final thoughts and video wrap up. So this is the first video of 3 or 4 I'm filming today. So I'm just going to jump right into it, try to be succinct. I never am, but we can always hope. So in the box, you have the instruction sheet, right? This was a larger project. So, right, you have a couple of pages of instructions. And they had like a layout for the cutting too, which was nice. But I'll talk, if I remember to, I'll talk more about that later. This is the project itself, a wine bottle bag with gift card pocket. It comes in this really great like muted gray tone, which I really liked. And then you had your card that told you the colorway that you got, or color variation, and then also your bonuses on the back and your add-ons. I get the add-ons because I'm fairly new to sewing, and so it's nice to have them. Each box is 34, wait, that's Cat Lady. Each box is $39.99 Canadian, I think. I don't quite remember. The price is up on the screen for you. But yeah. Okay, so we'll talk about the fabric first, and then we will talk about the other pieces that came in here. What I do is I keep everything in the box together during the project so that it's all together for when I need to talk about it. So I got the light gray colorway, which is really pretty. There's only like a few strips and stuff left of it. All right, this is where I cut the circle out of. Right, and then some like bits and pieces. I have like almost nothing left of the dark crackle gray. And I have a little bit left of my fusible fleece. I didn't lay out the fusible fleece like they suggested, and it ended up giving me just like a little extra. So little pieces of the fusible fleece. And then I traced out the circle, right? Because you couldn't cut the circle out. You had to trace it. Because if you cut it out, you'd be cutting out your instructions. Okay, and then the special bonuses for this month was a handmade take, which I don't have on me. Because I used it in a different project. This mini oh so organized stash and store. This thing is awesome. I love this thing. The coordinating thread, which I'm going to talk about in I don't know what part, but I'll talk about the thread in a little bit. And then the 2 needles, which I didn't use on this project because I honestly forgot about them. So yeah, that's what came in the box. yeah, okay. And now we will talk about putting it together. All right, so part 2 is assembling the box. Or assembling the project. Okay, so this month's project was, like I said before, a wine bottle bag with gift card pocket. Basically, it's just a bag for a wine bottle, like a carrier. Honestly, I can't really see giving this away because it took a bit of time to put together. And I don't know anybody in my immediate circle who would really appreciate a bottle like this. Well, maybe, but they're in Edmonton and I'm not. Anyway, so yeah, step 1 was ironing out all the fabrics. Step 2 was cutting out all of the pieces. Step 3, where's my instructions? Step 3 was to fuse my fabric onto the pieces that required it, which was all of the external pieces, not all of the external pieces. The instructions go into detail about it. And then step 4 was assembling it. In general, it's a fairly straightforward project. They did some really interesting things with like the pocket and stuff like that. So I sewed the pieces, then or I fused the pieces, and then like I sewed the pocket, I think. Yeah, so basically they had me do all of the exterior stuff first, like creating a pocket, lining up both sides of the cylinder to make sure that the gray ran around equally. They had you do a couple of layers of batting on the bottom to really give the whole thing good and structural integrity. They had me do some pleats on the external body and on the internal body, so that you kind of had it like closed near the top, so that it kind of came to a rounded top. Yeah, and then it was basically sewing together the outside of the bag, and then the interior of the bag, and then attaching those pieces to the base. So you only attached the body of the bag to your, no, sorry. So they had you attach your bases to your exterior and your interior body, and then they had you sew your interior to your exterior, add the handle, and you were good to go. So yeah, start to finish, I think this project took about 3 hours, 3.5 hours, 20 minutes or so to cut, and then a couple of hours to assemble. I watched the video tutorial first. I always watch the video tutorial. I highly recommend them. For me, at least, it really helps make everything make more sense. And then, yeah, I guess you probably want to see what it turned out like. So here is the bag. Right? It stands, right? It has like a nice round, you can't tell, but it has a nice rounded bottom. It has a gift pocket, card pocket here. Right, oh here, let's try. Right, so something can fit in there. It's that deep. It was a really cool way of having us do this pocket. I really liked it. It holds a wine bottle. I don't really have any wine bottles on hand right now, but it does. This top part isn't as like in here, they really make it look like this comes in a lot. And I don't know if I didn't measure it enough or what, but it does come in a bit, but it's not as like tight of a top. My edges all lined up nicely. So yeah, it looks pretty good, I think anyway. So pros, cons, and user error. Pro, I really like how they had you do this pocket, right? It's like a nice little pocket. I really like how they showed you how to do it. Basically, it was like using a piece of fleece this long, right? Fusible fleece this long, using a second piece of fusible fleece this long, but having this piece be cut longer. Have this piece cut longer so you can fold it. I'll show you on this piece of scrap here. So imagine that like this is fused, has fusible fleece on it just to this point here. Okay, so this fold line, like imagine that here and down has fusible fleece, and then here and up is left unfused, like it left just a single layer. And then imagine that this is your top piece, your gray piece, right? That has fusible fleece on it. So what they had you do is they had you fold this. Yeah. They had you sew this piece on, right? So you sewed your gray piece, right? Your top piece like this. Then you had this section blank, and then you had this section with fusible fleece. So they had you sew it together and then fold it like this, so that here's your pocket. Here's your pocket, right? Made out of this section of fabric. I hope that made sense. So I thought it was genius. I really liked that. I thought it was great. Stay tuned for what this is being turned into in a couple of weeks, I think. We'll see. Also, let me know if you recognize this fabric and where it comes from. That'd be cool to hear. Anyway, so back onto that. I really like how this pocket was formed. I really liked how they gave you extra space in case your circle didn't line up, and you had like extra wiggle room when your seam allowance to make it line up. I really liked too how they walked you through to make sure that your seams matched, so you had a nice continual shape around it. There was lots of really great things. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but I did like a fun little decorative stitch on my top stitching. I did the same thing here on my band too. I liked how they had you do this too. This is a really sturdy handle, and I really like how they had me make that too. So yeah, those are my main pros. Cons. I don't really like it. Personal preference or personal opinion. I don't like it. I don't see getting any use out of it. I'm going to keep it in the car for when we buy wine, maybe, and then I have like a little wine carrying thing. That might be kind of neat. But to use it to give to somebody, I don't know. I think that it looks nice enough to give away. Like, that's not the problem. It's more that I don't like it. very much. And I really like the material and like the colors and stuff. So it's a project that doesn't speak to me personally, and that's okay. That's really the only con. User error. There's a bit. I didn't sew this top part to the interior very well, and I had to go back and sew it again. If you look, my stitching isn't very good on it. I think the pleats need to be tighter. I'm not sure. I thought that I had followed exactly what they said, but I'm not getting that like closed shape that I should be getting, I think. And I was also a little impatient with attaching the handles. The handles are really sturdy, like they're not gonna rip off, but they're also not very, like they're not evenly spaced onto the seam like they should be. And they're both a little crooked. Actually a lot crooked. So I should have been more patient with that. I also, what they had you do, like how they had you make the handle, this seam was on the edge and I don't like it, so I just flipped it so it was in the middle. That's nothing to do with the pattern. It's not a pro, a con, a user error. It's just something that I did instead. I think it looks a little cleaner that way. It's hidden. I think that's it for user error. Yeah, just basically I kind of messed up sewing this top section. It looks fine though. Like I think you'd have to look closely and be really picky to notice. Yeah. Part 4. This is, I don't know, the 5th or 6th time I've restarted part 4. It seems that every time that I try to like organize my thoughts and make it make sense, it ends up in a rambling mess. So this time it's going to work. So this is part 4, my final thoughts and sign off. So I want to talk a little bit about the add-ons and the bonus items for this month. If you saw my Sewers Club review for 2021, you'll know that for me, the add-ons and bonus items can be hit or miss, but I usually really appreciate getting them because, as I keep saying, I'm fairly new to sewing and it's nice to have all these fun little things. But I do, right now, I do specifically want to talk about thread, which sounds kind of weird, but here we go. So this is the thread that came in the box, right? It matches really, really well. This is the exact spool that I used to to make this project. But as I was looking it after I unboxed it, I realized they had sent me this thread before, right? It's the exact same color 100 from Gutermann, right? It's the exact same color. And this came, I believe, in December's box. So I didn't, like this actually came, this exact spool came in this month's Sewers Club box. I didn't see the point in starting a new one when I already had one on the go. And then as I was digging through my, what to me feels like extensive sewing thread collection, and to my cousin seems like a baby collection, not even worthy of the name collection, I also came across this one. And this is color 70. So it's a gray. Look, it's almost the same, right? Like this is a bit more of a blue gray, and this has like a little tiny bit of a yellow tone to it. But this one would work just as well for this project, right? They all look kind of the same. I don't even know if the camera can really pick up the differences. Where is my camera? I will know when I'm editing whether or not you can really tell the difference in these colors. But I find that very interesting. I don't know if I like it, if I don't, or what's going on. I really appreciate coordinating colors, but yeah, it was just an observation that I had. And so I'll keep you informed on if I get any more grays of the exact same tone. But yeah, just wanted to point that out. And this month's, I think everybody got this. Yeah, so this like little organized stash and sew is amazing. I used it to sew with, right, on my dining room table, because that's where I've been cutting and sewing. And I really liked it. My husband saw it and was like, whoa, that's clever, and tried to take it. I'm thinking I might see if I can get myself a bigger version, but I'm probably going to keep this on my desk and use it for a bunch of different things. Like I have, I'm starting my paint by numbers project for my big project of the month today when I'm done filming everything. And I think I'm going to try this out for my, to hold my brushes and things. So I really like that. The other thing that I wish I could have on hand was my handmade tag. They had a handmade tag for this month. You can see it here in the photo. Yeah, here in the photo. But I didn't really think that it would look all that great on this project. I didn't like how it looked on this here. So I decided not to use it for this project, and I used it for a different project. And yeah, so yeah, so final thoughts really for this is I liked it. Like I liked putting it together. I liked making it. I liked learning new things. I liked the pocket. I liked figuring out how to circle round things. So like circles, round things, stuff like that. I really enjoyed all of that. I just didn't really like the project in general. And like I said, that's okay. I don't get Sewers Club to like every single project. I get Sewers Club to help me improve my sewing skills, to teach me how to make new things. And so for that, I really appreciate this project. And I think that's it. Next Wednesday is going to be reviewing last January's project. Not reviewing, revisiting. So this was last January's project. Stay tuned if you want to see how I revisit it and changed it up or whatever. And then the week after that is going to be, I'm not sure yet. I think I know. And then the week after that, hopefully it's going to be another Sewers Club project. So let me know what you think of this project. Did you get this box? Did you get this colorway? My mother-in-law got the darker version, I think, and it was quite pretty too. Yeah, have you made this? What did you think of it overall? You know, all those fun questions. Let me know in the comments down below. And I think that's it. I'm going to talk, or I guess like the video if you've made it this far. Subscribe to the channel if you want more sewing content and to see what else I'm doing. I'm at, as of recording this, 56 subscribers. So hello new subscribers and welcome. I think I greeted you on my last video too, but it's always nice to see you. So thanks. But that's it. I think that's all I have to say. I'm gonna record next week's sewing video, and then I don't know, eat something maybe. Anyway, I'll talk to you again soon.